Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and I am talking about Star Wars 7, Episode 7, The Force Awakens, and there are spoilers all over this video. So if you haven't seen the movie, go see the movie, then come check out this video. So, of course, this is my Star Wars 7 review, and I just love this film, and I think one of the great things about Star Wars 7 is the mysteries in it, right? So I was coming out of the film. It's probably the second time I saw the film with my son, and he turns to me and he said, that answered a lot of questions I had, but it raised just as many questions. And I think he's right about that. Star Wars 7 raises a lot of questions, right? So one of the biggest questions in the entire film, one of the biggest questions right now around Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens, is who is Rey, right? Now, I've heard a lot of theories. I've heard that she is Luke's daughter. I think there's some sound evidence to, if people believe that, they're not really out in left field. I get that. I've heard some very crazy theories as well. But guess what? I know who Rey is, so I have Sherlocked it. I've put together the evidence that's in the film, and I am 100% certain, enough for my certainty that I know who Rey is. Rey is the granddaughter of Jocasta Nu. Now, Star Wars fans out there, you already know who Jocasta Nu is. For people who are Star Wars fans, but you're still learning, Jocasta Nu she was the chief librarian of the Jedi Academy on Coruscant. And so, at the Jedi Temple. And she assisted a young Obi-Wan in trying to find a planet called Kamino. And Kamino was where the clone troopers were created, right? And so Obi-Wan goes to the library and he says, "Hey, I'm looking for this missing planet." And Jocasta Nu said, is working in the library. So Jocasta Nu was a Jedi and she was a librarian, which is a pretty awesome combination. And she was very wise. And why do I say she was wise? Well, she didn't have a lightsaber, because you don't need a lightsaber in a library, right? So she's out there, and she has a conversation with Obi, and Obi says, "Hey, where's Kamino?" She says, "Well, there's no records here in the Jedi library," which means Kamino doesn't exist, right? And so this gives Obi-Wan the evidence he needs to determine that that Kamino had been deleted from the Jedi library, from the Jedi archives, right? Okay. Now let's talk about Jocasta Nu and why she is the grandmother of Rey. Okay. There is evidence everywhere. Like every single arrow on Rey points to Jocasta Nu. Okay. All right. One, her hair is done in the same style as Jocasta Nu, pulled back, right, gathered right behind her head at the same point, like right here behind her head. Okay. Her facial features are identical, okay? Her complexion, identical, okay? Her speech cadence is exactly the same as Jocasta Nu's speech cadence. In addition to that, one of the biggest forms of evidence is that Rey has a great outfit in the movie, and it has these two slats that go from her shoulders down to her abdomen, right? Jocasta Nu wore exactly the same outfit, slats going vertically from her shoulders to her abdomen. That is not a really common way for people to wear clothes in the Star Wars universe, and it's very strong evidence. Same complexion, wears her hair in the same way, wears the same type of clothing, looks virtually identical to her. So now the reason why I say she is her granddaughter was Jocasta Nu was very old, okay? And so clearly Jocasta Nu had a daughter, and then from that point it would have been, and I think that daughter may have been hidden because, relationships for the Jedi was, you had to keep that on the down low. But Anakin had a relationship with Padme. He married her. So we already know that Jedis can have relationships and they can hide them. So I believe Jocasta Nu had a daughter, and then what happened was Order 66 was executed by Emperor Palpatine, and I'm almost positive Jocasta Nu would have been one of the first people slain. If you're killing Jedis with lightsabers, you know the Jedis without lightsabers got killed, right? So Jocasta Nu was probably killed, and then her daughter, oh my goodness, her daughter is linked to a powerful Jedi family. Now, if you're linked to a powerful Jedi family, and people are going to come to kill you, what might you do? Oh, maybe you'll take your daughter and drop her onto a planet like Jakku, where she can be safe and out of the way. That's interesting, right? Absolutely, 100%. This is a lock. Okay, this theory is I think there's maybe a 1% chance it's not true, but every arrow in the film points to Rey being the granddaughter of Jocasta Nu. Okay, and it also explains exactly why Rey was on Jakku. It also explains a lot of other things. So it explains why Jocasta Nu's daughter would have had to have put Rey on Jakku and then left her so that she could be safe, because Jocasta Nu's daughter, because she's from a strong Jedi family, would have been hunted down and killed by the Empire and the First Order. Okay, so she had to get her out of the way. She had to keep her safe, right? Another thing that points to strong evidence that Rey is the granddaughter of Jocasta Nu is that Jocasta Nu was a librarian. What do librarians collect? They collect knowledge. They're all over knowledge, okay? So, Rey is strong. So, where does knowledge come in with Rey? Rey's strongest abilities were knowledge abilities, essentially. She knew how to scavenge, how to get the right parts, how to sell those parts, and that's all mechanical. She knew a ton of information about the mechanics of starcrafts. That's all knowledge that you need to be able to gather quickly, keep in your head, and then apply. Right? Jocasta Nu was all about knowledge, right? And then additionally to that, Rey is a fantastic pilot. When you become a pilot, there's a ton of things you have to learn. You have to learn about how to fly and how aerodynamics work, and vectors and math, and it's a knowledge-based skill. All right. So again, Rey is able to do these things really well because she comes from a long line of knowledge collectors. Right? People who value knowledge, use it, and apply it. The other thing is, Rey is crazy strong with the Force. So she has to come from a Jedi bloodline. Okay? And Jocasta Nu was a powerful Jedi. And so this is my theory that Rey is the granddaughter of Jocasta Nu, the chief librarian at the Jedi Academy. And so I really think this is a lot of people have been wondering. Now you know. Thanks.